Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald with Veterans for Trump. I'm here with my friend George Farrell. He is the founder of BlackPAC. How are you today, George?
Hi, Stan. How's everything going?
We're doing good. Not as good as you. You're in some warm weather and some comfortable living, so we're not in those exotic places, but we're doing okay in Georgia. George, you are very well known in the political realm, but I'd like to reach some people who may not know you. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, my background, I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I took full advantage of growing up there. It's a wonderful place to grow up. You have the Capitol, you have the White House, you have some really good people, and I actually had some great mentors. I had a Walter Fauntroy, who was our congressman. Believe it or not, I was friends with Marion Barry, and all these people were actually strong conservatives. They would qualify as conservatives today. And I interned for Claiborne Pell with the Pell Grant when I was in college. So my background in politics goes all the way back to when I was a teenager.
And I think at one point too, weren't you in law enforcement?
Yes, I was a Washington, D.C. police officer for 3 years. I decided it wasn't a career for me, but I was a Washington, D.C. police officer. And we did a lot of good there. I was a police officer during the crack epidemic, unfortunately. Um, but we got a lot of people off of drugs. We got a lot of homelessness off the street. And we did a great job in getting the murder rate down. At the time, Washington had almost 300 to 600 murders a year, which sounds like a lot. We got it down to about 200, and then I decided to retire and go in a different direction.
And before we get that far ahead, you are also an author, right? You've published a book, and you are an advisor. Can you tell us a little bit about those ventures?
Yes, I published two books. One is called The Angry Black Man's Guide to Success. And I wrote that book because, again, there's a lot of black men that are misdirected, and they needed somewhere to turn to where they could take that anger and turn it into drive, ambition, and success. So that was my first book, The Angry Black Man's Guide to Success. And then my next book was Success is Colorblind, because if you're going to be successful in the United States, you cannot walk around just looking at everything as race. I think that's one of the issues that really bother a lot of our leaders, especially on the Democratic side, because they look at everything through the spectrum of race. But if you're going to be successful in business, if you're going to be successful in life, you cannot look at everything as race. You can talk about your heritage, which is different. You can have pride in your heritage, but if you look at everything in race, you're going to pigeonhole yourself into a circle of failure. So both of my books are actually designed to reach into a person's psyche, get them focused on themselves, and start becoming successful without putting everything in the spectrum of race.
And I do want to recommend to our viewers, I personally purchased Success is Colorblind on Amazon, so you could find the book on Amazon.
Great, thank you, Stan.
You're welcome. Great work, George. So, George, let's talk now about the Political Action Committee. You are the founder of BlackPAC. Tell our viewers a little bit about how that came about.
Well, I'm the founder of BlackPAC, which is the Black, Latin, Asian Knowledge Political Action Committee. And again, we wanted to get people away from race and just focused on conservative values. So my wife, who is Costa Rican, and I decided to found a PAC. And we founded this PAC in 2014, even though I was active in politics way before then, to help get more Blacks, Latin, and Asians elected to Congress or a federal PAC or super PAC. So if you want to write an unlimited check, please do, because we're a super PAC. And we wanted to focus on getting people like a Byron Donalds, a John James, a Wesley Hunt, elected people who are really, really strong, conservatives, and qualified. They just need a little bit more help. But it's not always about blacks. We did a lot for conservatives. We did a lot for Senator Scott. And when I say Scott, I'm talking about Tim Scott. We did a lot for Senator Tim Scott, who's now running for president. We did a lot for Rick Scott because Rick Scott was not doing well until we got involved. So we helped Rick Scott get reelected. He got elected by 60,000 votes. We did a lot for our current governor who's running for president also. That's two we have running for president. We did a lot for him. He was only elected in 2018 by 32,000 votes, and 150,000 of those were Black votes that helped elect Governor DeSantis. So we're very, very good at getting out, I guess I want to say, non-party affiliated voters because they vote issues. So we focus on the issues. We get non-party affiliated voters out. We get them to cross over and vote conservative values.
And as you know, I'm from Georgia, and I
Yes.
do recall that you helped one of our famous congresswomen get over the finish line not that long ago, Marjorie Greene. You
Yes.
helped very much here in this state.
Yes, we helped Marjorie Greene, but before Marjorie Greene, we actually helped elect Karen Handel in a special election. And
Heard
that's when
about
we
that.
got our foothold in Georgia. We worked with Karen Handel to win a special election. She won the special election, but she lost the next year. So then we put our resources into Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's been, as a matter of fact, she did some very controversial things today, showing some pictures of a person who should be in jail for crack, but we won't talk about that. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's brave. Let me tell you that she's brave. She's not shying away. And the people of Georgia are should be really proud and happy to have her to speak up for them.
She's a fighter, and I know you personally support President Trump like she does. In fact, I was in Mar-a-Lago with you, and I saw you get a picture with the president.
Yes, we took a picture of the president. We support the president. We're waiting for him to get reelected. We know he's going to do a good job. We know he's going to end the war, this unnecessary war. We know he's going to do well for the economy. So if if you're non-committed and you're non-party affiliated, understand that President Trump is going to get this interest rate down. He's going to spur this economy. He's going to make sure our children get educated well, and he's going to do a lot of good things. But you may not like his personality, but if you're going to vote for someone who's going to save America right now, is President Trump.
There you go. And George, before we wrap, I don't want to keep this short. I don't want to lose attention spans, and I want people to go to your website. But tell
Yes.
us, there's some very disturbing statistics, and people may not think about it every day. But am I correct that we only have 5 Black members of Congress?
We only have 5 Black Republican members of Congress, and that doesn't look well across the country. We have Byron Donalds, John James, Wesley Hunt, Senator Tim Scott, and Burgess Owens, and that's it. We don't have any females, and I'm hoping that we can convince someone like a Winsome Sears to run for Congress, someone who's really, really qualified, so that we can have representation and people who have served in the military who want to run and serve. I'm hoping that we can get behind them and get them elected. But it's not good for the Republican Party, which is supposed to be the party of opportunity, to not support really, really overqualified candidates for Congress. So we work very, very hard on that. So we do need your contribution. We do need your support. Visit our website, www.blakpac.gop. Again, that's blakpac.gop is our website. You'll see a list of our accomplishments. We have an accomplishments page which talks about all of our accomplishments. You'll also see a list of the people that we endorse, and our record of endorsing people is this is pretty much like 100%. So when we get behind somebody, they do get elected. So our endorsement is very, very powerful. It produces another, I would say, 5 to 10% of the voting base look at our endorsements and see who we're endorsing. So please follow us. Please visit our page. Please make a contribution and tell everyone about us. That blakpac.gop.
Yes, and please do visit his website, make a donation, and check out his amazing background, which includes testifying before Congress. George is a patriot. He's a fighter, and he's great for America. So we appreciate you, George. And I'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
Thank you so much, Stan. Thank you so much. And the work that you're doing is fantastic. The work that you're getting these veterans out to vote and letting them realize that they're conservatives. I mean, there's a lot of young military that don't realize that they really need to come over to the conservative side and vote conservative. Some of them don't vote at all, even though it's because they're serving. So Stan does a great job of getting out the military vote. He's doing a wonderful job of getting them to vote early. So there's going to be a lot of military voting early in 2024. And Stan's going to be responsible for the early vote for a lot of the veterans.
Thank you, George. And yes, we will definitely be working on that. And I see some joint projects, maybe a Winsome Sears we could work on together. That's a great suggestion. I hope she hears it. So
I hope she hears it. Yes.
we'll keep in touch. Thanks, George.
All right. Thank you, Stan. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye now.